Hi, everybody. It's Linda G here with Mel back from Europe.
I,
He's always going somewhere. I never seen anything like it. The man doesn't
well,
sit still for a minute.
they asked me to come back again in January to teach and to do some readings. So this time I got to teach and do some readings. But the good news of it is that I get to scout out places like in Slovakia, which is a beautiful country, and in the UK, haunted places. I'm thinking maybe it might be nice to put a tour together to some of those places or to do a seminar in one of those places because they're so old. I mean, we're talking like 700 years old. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Just the energy of it, is
yeah.
like
I've been in
amazing.
a lot of them old castles.
I love it. I just love it.
That's great. So, I was just telling Mel, I woke up this morning with an email from my niece, and uh, what was going to say? And she said, my waters are leaking. She's the one that had the 26, 27 week Asa, the little boy that you guys all donated so generously because she had to have a readjustment of his brain. They took the top of his skull off and fixed his ventricles. And he's doing very good, by the way. Uh, so she got pregnant with this little girl. And I know her husband was hesitant. I don't know what convinced him. It's good she's having a girl because when they get old and die, little girls tend to take care of their brothers. But so she's leaking. She's in the hospital. She's on good with good care. She's got NICU right next to her. She's in the place that has the specialty. See, when Asa was born, one minute she was pregnant, the next minute she delivered him. There was no, he even died on the table for 45 minutes. They worked on him till they brought him back. But anyway, and he had all the hassles, all the troubles. But it's a miracle. He's a miracle child. So anyway, this little girl's trying to make her appearance. And we were supposed to go to the baby shower coming up next week. And she said, I just want you to know that I'm in the hospital. And of course, that's good though, because they're giving her all the stuff to help mature the baby's lungs earlier and stuff like that. So please say a prayer for Keely Shores, and her husband's name is Stefan, and the baby brother is Asa, and that baby stays put till it's time. Fortunately, it's got our main name blood in it because I said if it's got our blood in it, even if it's born at even if it's only 3 pounds, it'll gain all the weight it needs in 1 month.
Well, I had a feeling like they'd keep her in the hospital 2 or 3 weeks and they'll slow the leak down or get it down to nothing, and they
Oh,
might have
good.
to induce or do a C-section. But I still, I still feel like the baby making it and being healthy,
I
and
feel I don't get a panic at all.
no, I get a sense of peace.
I was like, I didn't realize how bad Ace's situation was till after the fact because it was so sudden. And they had no pre-knowing that this baby. So that's why when she got pregnant with this one, they watch her like a hawk, which is great.
It's a good thing. Anyway, we'll send prayers. It was funny. Last night we were to change the subject, but we'll send prayers. I was talking about England, and so I said, "Yeah, tomorrow. You've seen My Fair Lady with Eliza Doolittle, right?"
Yes.
And I said, "My favorite accent is Cockney because they rhyme everything." And I said, "Tomorrow, Linda's show, I'm going to go into a trance and say, 'Hello, I'm channeling Eliza Doolittle.'"
I used to have to speak that Cockney when I played in that musical Oliver. How's your
Um,
mom?
Me
So
sk- here's Cockney. See if anybody can get it. Me skin in blisters was going up the apples and stairs and broke a bottle and glass. That's Cockney.
okay,
Do you know what it said?
no.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you when we're off the air. See if everybody out there can get it. The British people
Okay.
can do
The
it.
British people. Well, I know Scottish people are very hard to understand.
Oh, Scottish, forget about it. The
Especially,
dog.
Robin Williams did the best bit on that.
Oh
He
God,
just rambled and he was just like they sound.
the
But
dog, the
but
dag.
especially when they're drinking. I had a boyfriend and we showed up. Apparently, when you go to Scotland to like a New Year's party, they're talking about 3 days of drinking. You just don't go. I thought we would go back that evening. No, everybody's going to party for days. And the guy answered the door and he's talking to me. I couldn't understand a word he said, not one word.
Well, I learned in England, like there's words that we have that they don't understand and vice versa. For example, a crosswalk, they wouldn't get it. It's called a zebra crossing because of the stripes. A pavement is a sidewalk.
Isn't it something?
Chips are French fries. If you ask for potato chips, you get French fries. They call potato chips crisps. So it's
Yeah,
like, oh,
that's in Scotland too.
yeah, it's like in Scotland, the dog is the dag, the cow's the coo. I can't understand it. But I'm good. I just say, you know what? I'm hard of hearing, so please slow down and speak up.
So listen, I want to make one thing perfectly clear
You go right
before
ahead,
we
sweetie.
begin. Okay, so everybody's freaking out saying that apparently Trump said him and Mike Johnson kind of got like a little surprise. They're working on a little surprise. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The actual the Congress, they end on January 3rd. So the counting of the votes doesn't happen until January 6th. And then, or yeah, January 6th. And the new ones are being put in on that day. So he won't be in charge. Johnson won't be in charge. It's because I'm telling you, we're taking the Congress.
You mean
So
take
it'll
the
probably
house?
be Jeffries will be the new leader. And I don't care what you plan with Johnson, it's a no-go. So
So you
don't
see,
freak out about that.
so you see us taking the House and the Senate, correct?
Absolutely.
People in Europe were nervous
Oh, you
about,
were telling me that. Yeah.
about Putin because, I watched the BBC in Vienna. I can understand German, but some of the stuff, but it was in English. And, the story they tell is completely different than what we get here. They were reporting the facts, but I watched that uh, BRIC summit that Putin hosted. And, it came out in Europe. It was huge news that there were Korean troops being trained to go into Ukraine. And people were asking me, even in their readings in Slovakia, because they were really nervous about it. Some like Putin, many don't. And I tried to reassure them, but you know, they're nervous about Putin invading them, especially if they send Korean troops into Ukraine. And it's funny when Putin said, "Oh, if America or NATO sends any of their troops in, then I'm going to have nuclear weapons." But it's okay for him to send in Korean troops. So
Yeah.
people were nervous about that. Twofold. One, will he send in Korean troops? And if he does, will NATO send in troops? Those were the
Did
questions.
send in Korean troops.
Okay, so then the question remains is will NATO send in their own troops?
Actually, South Korea has said, who wouldn't get involved at all, has now offered Ukraine all kinds of equipment and their own troops.
Good.
I saw them literally take, a whole bunch of them are saying, please leave us in your country. We don't want to go back.
That's exactly what I was picking up, that a lot of those troops would defect. But the problem is if they don't go back, then Kim Jong-un will kill their families,
Oh, he
uh,
will go back and put them in prison or kill them. Yeah.
kill their
They
families.
do understand that.
But the other part of it is, um, I guess what I tell people is, yes, I do see NATO sending in troops. And I also, when you said South Korea, I got cold chills. So uh, that's what I picked up. But,
Yeah, and I see South Korea getting on the horn and taking care of business.
and then the next,
That's how much they hate North Korea.
and then the next question was, and we've heard this a million, bazillion, gazillion times that, the polls, but Trump pays for some of those polls, I'm
All
sure.
of them, total.
But people are nervous in Europe about Trump winning. because they're nervous if Trump wins, then he'll give Putin carte blanche and Putin will take over
Yeah,
Eastern Europe again.
he'd go into Poland and everything. He's not
People
going
are,
to win.
I'm sorry, say again.
Trump is not going to win.
Okay. I do have to say hello to my friend Andrea in Slovakia. She watches us. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Uh, and to my friend, I can't hardly pronounce her nickname is Ilka or Ivanka, and she doesn't speak English, but I was had a she let me bond with her wolf dog, and it was an incredible experience. And
Oh,
the dog was just incredible. And thank you to Katka for arranging with her father to let me go one morning and watch dog training. It was incredible. So
how do they train their dogs? Same as you?
pretty much the same. And thank you to Eva Skorpikova for translating and arranging everything. So it was really incredible.
Boy,
But
they were treating you like a queen over there.
well, people there are very nervous, they really are. And but but they're also very into spiritual healing and intuitive ability and things like that, a lot more open about it than we are. And it's pretty incredible.
I'm sorry I can get so cocky on this, and I almost get pissed off that people question it. Yet it's like the guides told us that, and your guides too, that he wasn't, that Trump wasn't going to win in 2020.
Right.
And
Well,
now they once again showed, I saw her inauguration ball. I saw her looking beautiful.
right.
He's not going to win, I'm telling you. And that's why they did that horrible thing in New York. They said it's sort of placating him because they know he's not going to win. They're going to try to steal it, but it's not going to work.
Well, that thing in Madison Square Garden is going on right now. I haven't watched the news in 9 days. It was kind of a welcome break and
Well,
just,
I got bombarded by Daniel sending me all the horrible things they were saying.
I'm
Just
sure.
very racist and ugly.
Right. Well,
Melania was there, by the way. It's
right. But I
going
did,
on today, too. I thought it was just yesterday.
well, I got a glimpse of the BBC, like I said. And, they flat out asked Putin in that interview if he had been talking about Trump about Korean troops in Ukraine, and Putin just danced around it.
Yeah, yeah. He's a low life. He's underhanded. And he's using Kim Jong-un, by the way, because his little military is just ants.
Well, my psychic light
They'll
bulb
just use ant spray and they're all gone.
my my psychic light bulb went on is something we've known all along that Putin indeed has been talking to Trump about Ukraine and
Oh, yeah.
about troops going in and all
Which
that.
makes your friends, I understand totally. They're thinking, dear God. So he says, I like Mr. Trump. He's going to come in and just basically give me carte blanche. I'm telling you, if Trump got in there, Trump, and by the way, Putin would step all over Trump, by the way.
Of course.
I had a vision. You haven't been around, and I threw a show on this. I saw JD Vance. I saw Elon Musk in cahoots with Putin. And they're talking, talking, talking. And I see they're looking at JD Vance as the new president. And
Um,
but they know he can't win on his own.
I got a yes to that.
So they're using Trump. Really? Honestly? He's kind of a puppet as long as he does what he wants. If he doesn't, they'll take him out.
That's right. I heard a yes to that. If Trump wins, uh, they don't want Trump, they want JD Vance. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Um, but I just wanted to touch on it again because, like I said, Putin is calling for a new world order, and so is Trump. And um, you all don't get nervous about that thing in Manhattan, by the way, because
Oh,
they
it hurt
said
Trump. It didn't help him, it hurt him.
right, they said he paid people to come in or had people come in from other states that supported him to make it look like the rally was
Yeah,
full.
the top floors was nobody.
Right, exactly.
It
So,
wasn't as big as the one that Nazi party they had in the 30s.
right. So, I just wanted to ease everyone's mind. However, we don't have this election in the bag. We could still lose, and I'm not being a Dougie Downer. You've got to get out and vote,
Most
please.
people have voted, yeah.
I know. I have not yet. I'm waiting.
Get
I
your
like
ass
to
down there. What you doing talking to me? Shoot. Get your
I
ass
like
down there and vote.
I like to go to the polling place and on election day, I like the electricity of it all. And
Did you see that woman that had a Trump shirt on? They said she couldn't come in. She called them all kinds of names and she took her shirt off. She big white woman with her bra went up there to vote. Those
well,
are the kind of people Trump just loves.
because here you cannot campaign for
You can't
anybody.
wear a hat. You can't.
Oh, not within, I think within X amount of feet of the polling of the voting place.
Yeah. My shirt, I have a shirt that said $25. Same thing as in town.
That was good.
With my handlebar wig.
Okay. Well, Eliza Doolittle tells me that Donald want to be
Oh,
dog.
we're gonna have to go through this Cockney stuff, you guys, for a while.
Oh, teasing. I'll let it go now. I just thought it was cute.
Okay.
She's my new
Oh,
guide.
let me tell you, I go by osmosis. If I'm in the UK, I've got the UK slang. Ireland, I had it when I had the Scottish boyfriend. I would, and people like, are you from Scotland? No, I couldn't help it. I just consume the language. I can't help it.
I do have to say hi to my friends in the UK as well.
Yeah,
Then I'll let Eliza Doolittle go back to sleep.
there you go. There you go. Uh,
Okay, what do you got, darling?
so we got a lot of questions. Can we please pause for a moment on this video and collectively do a benevolent for Kamala and Tim? Absolutely. We asked for the most benevolent outcome for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to go in and win the election and help sort our United States of America out. We do a most benevolent outcome for Keely Shores and her husband, Philip. No, Stephen, wrong husband. And her husband, Stephen, for Asa's new little sister that's trying to come too soon. Okay. Uh,
You know what I
well,
got when you said that, Linda? I got she's that little girl's a fighter and she's just itching to get into this world. She ain't
I
gonna
felt like
wait
she was
anymore.
pushing people out of the way.
She is. She don't want to wait anymore. She's like, I gotta get
But
into the
she's
world.
nice and comfy now. They got her a bed rest. That's like my 10-pound 1 ouncer, Jeff. He was 10 pounds 1 ounce. That kid, sometimes I thought he was dead. I would do the nipple stimulus to see if I could get him to move. He was so comfy in his mama. And finally, he was due March 5th. And the doctor went on vacation. And when he came back, he called me and said, you haven't found that, you haven't had that kid yet? I said, nope, not one. I didn't. And I refuse any Pitocin or anything because they hurt my other son's head trying to get him out with forceps. He was black and blue. And so I said, nope, him and I are quite comfortable. I sleep on my side, he's sleeping. And they said, come in Monday morning and we'll take him out. And that baby was born 10 pounds and 1 ounce, the happiest baby, and slept all the time, just like his mama.
I was 9 pounds and 7 ounces.
Oh, that's it. Jacob was 9 pounds, 1 ounce.
I was big.
Jacob, by the way, and I'll talk to you later about this, he's going with his girlfriend and her family to the Canary Islands.
Ooh,
So
yay.
how long? I'll call US Bank, but how long till you can get your euros in exchange from the bank?
He should probably, whenever they're leaving, I mean, I would do it like
They're
try.
doing December.
Oh, I would do it like a week or two before.
Okay, thanks. Uh,
Okay, I've got one.
okay, what you got?
Okay. Ola to Linda and Mel. Well, the Harrison
Hola.
Hola. Oh, this is from Sweetie Darling Lulu. Will the Harris administration continue student loans forgiveness progress since Biden Biden is blocked, I think it says.
Well, they actually unblocked him. A
Okay.
judge unblocked it. But yeah, she'll keep it up.
Okay. Good. I think so too. I feel like a yes.
Yeah. Oh, listen, that people on the these social medias. Oh, yeah, it's okay to forgive the millions of PPEs these rich people took, but dear God, don't pay a student's loan.
Right, exactly.
Also, uh, oh, this is a good one from Blake. Um, I'm reading War. It's like a 15-hour book. I went to my grandson's baseball yesterday, and it was like 2.5 hours each way, so I got a good chunk in. Biden was really showing signs of something was wrong way before he threw his hat in. They said like the bigwigs were meeting with him. This is during the Ukraine debacle, and he couldn't remember the word veteran. So they were already worried about him. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Well,
Oh,
but here again, they talked about how bad Biden did during the debate.
actually, if you looked at what he said, it was very good.
Well, the point is, Trump had a rally or a town hall, and he danced for like 30 minutes and just was unhinged. And they didn't say much about that. Oh, you
No,
know,
but they're all over because he was stuttering.
right. They were all over Biden and then all over Kamala as well. So,
Blake 59 says, Dear Mel and Linda, will 45 Madison Square Garden rally backfire on him with his derogatory rhetoric about Puerto Rico? Help Kamala Harris. Absolutely, yes.
absolutely.
Actually, they were trying to go back on it. His team, they were trying, but they said it was weak. He's already hurt. Listen, don't piss off a Puerto Rican. J Lo and my daughter said this other guy who's a big Puerto Rican with 43 million subscribers said I'm voting for Kamala.
Um, there you go.
Heck yeah, it's going to backfire. But Dan
Um,
was sending me, but this morning I put on Morning Joe because I figured because I was gone all day. And then I got home, I had to watch the 49er game. Yay, 49ers.
eh,
Anyway, I thought Morning Joe will cover all this. They barely touched it.
wow.
Very surprised.
Hmm. Wonder why.
I
They were
don't
covering
know.
it when I put it on briefly, and they were covering it on that.
On
So
Morning Joe,
no, 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 no.
on a
Uh,
different show.
it was on a different show.
And
That
then
was
I do KTVU to check out the traffic and the weather, and they didn't mention nothing on it. Okay, your turn.
okay. Somebody asked about P. Diddy and if other celebrities, and then she mentions their names, whose names I don't want to mention because I don't think it'd be fair to them. Um, she wants to know if P. Diddy will go to jail. Well, he's going to go to jail, but
He's in jail. Yeah,
what will happen to the some of the other celebrities that were around him?
jail.
I see a few being indicted, but not everybody whose names you mentioned, Vicky Zachary.
Well, I know they got a recording of his somebody talking to him in jail, one of his family members, and he said, "Have you heard from Jay yet?" And that they think that means Jay-Z. And they said no, and he says, "Oh, he's got a lot of nerve.
Right.
Like I'll be throwing his name in the hat too." So apparently Jay-Z's in on some of that stuff.
Um, there you go.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, please look at Biden's historic apology to Native Americans for the horrific schools on Friday. I felt something shift there. I think so too. It's very good that he did say that. My mother was forever damaged. And I appreciate the Pope sometimes bringing stuff up that they realize. Those Catholics were very mean to mothers in Ireland, especially. They found all kinds of dead babies and mothers. They would have them go on their hands and knees, the nuns, and cut the grass with scissors.
Wow. Um, the church is not immune from its abuses either,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, yeah, any kind of abuse is just wrong. It's so wrong on so many levels. But um, hopefully that we'll get back to equality and caring for each other and have this anarchy and chaos stopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, your turn, I think.
Didn't I just do it?
We did.
Yeah, I did Joseph Biden.
Okay, that's right. I'm sorry. My concern is that our Madam President would not have a Democratic Congress behind her. How does it stand for Dems in Senate and House? We answered that one, but
I can only tell you what I see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I see Hakeem Jeffries being the new speaker. So,
so do I. I guess a lot of people are concerned about Trump once again playing with the electors, of each state. And then if it goes to the Supreme Court, they'll let the governors decide, um, which governors can, if for some reason the electors can't cast their votes. They'll try, but I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried the least. If I would, I don't even get that scary feeling.
I'll
Hey,
tell you,
listen,
if
uh,
if Trump wins this election, and I don't feel that he will, but if he does, then we know that things were tampered with
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
and forget your rights and forget most children's rights. It's going to be terrible, but he won't win.
Well, that means he's tampered with stuff.
Yeah. So, Pitt's rule said, Linda, you nailed it as usual. The Madison Square Garden rally was a disaster, and I'm glad so many people went because the audience that that large odds are there will be defectors. There was a lot of them Sink Heil people there.
I'm sure.
It was a Nazi rally. That's all there is to it. But it's a turnoff. I feel it's a turnoff. When people, I didn't even think he would have it. That's what a nothing burger energetically. But it does feel like it did shift some people's. Rick Scott came out against it. Rick Scott in Florida said,
Well,
"How
I
dare he talk about Puerto Ricans? They are lovely people."
I had predicted that, there would be a lot of Republicans speaking out against Trump, and here we are.
Oh, we are here, but this isn't moving any needle. Trust me. It may be down. He might go down.
Good. All right. Your turn.
I just read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still on
So you still got a jet whatever jet lag.
jet lag. Okay. Will the U.S. ever get, this is Denise, will the U.S. ever get big money out of politics?
What?
Will the
Oh yeah,
U.S.
they're going to
get big,
change. They're going to do that thing. They're going to change something that the Supreme Court did, where they allow bigwigs to go in there, these private PACs, and pour all kinds. They're going to change that.
I see at some point them saying that, these big PACs or companies, corporations, like Elon Musk and stuff like that, can no longer buy elections. That's what I see coming.
Yeah. Um, Somebody asked, can we do a prayer calling in Abraham Lincoln and all the founding fathers of this country to save the democracy? They can't change it. We have to go to a higher realm. So pray higher than them. You can't call dead relatives or ancestors. You have to ask the realm to do it. But it's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Um, so this is interesting. Recently, a Democratic field office in Arizona was shot up. An elderly poll worker in Texas was assaulted. And I heard another post box. I used to see them throwing fire in a post box. So one post box had 20 ballots and the other one had 100. But they're not going to be able to do enough. That's how big she's going to win.
Good. Um, Denise Fletcher Thoreau. We're not doing personal questions, but I'll ask
No,
this. I'll ask this one anyway. She wants to know if she should launch her YouTube channel in 2024 or 2025.
we're almost at the end of 24.
Yeah, I would say probably wait until more like summer of 25. That's what I'm picking up. That was Denise Fletcher. Okay.
Okay, do I see Colin Allred winning the Senate seat over Cancun Cruz? I keep seeing him winning. Now, today on the news, they had Ted Cruz up 5 points. I don't see Ted Cruz winning.
I see Ted Cruz out. You
Yeah.
know, I could be wrong, but this election,
But sometimes we fall so in love with the other person, like I was with Beto. I think Beto won. I think Texas cheated. And that guy, the AG admitted he took out, I don't know how many thousands of ballots and was proud of it.
Many of us in the community saw Beto or Beto, however you say his name, winning.
Yeah,
And I still think he did. And I agree with you that intuitively, I feel that Paxton, the attorney general, messed with the votes and just took them out,
yeah,
took them off the road.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. Aces 2342 says, do you see anything happening that would stop any voting or inauguration?
Not unless Biden died.
Um, I think what they're asking is, if Kamala wins, will Trump try to mess with her being inaugurated? He'll try some stuff, yes, but he
Yeah,
won't.
but nothing that you should see what they've got around the Capitol right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, tell you, nobody will be able to get in there. It's
Probably like
hard.
tanks. It's probably like a right. All right.
They were showing all these people back in the hills with their A-14 shooting away, like we're practicing, saving this country, and they were shooting. And I thought, dudes, so show that up against a tank or a drone or jets. How are you going to beat? They'll take you out in a New York minute. It's just like when you were talking about all those North Koreans coming in, and 6,000 of them, and I felt like a spray of ant spray.
It's like I agree. Okay, your turn.
Oh, okay, yeah, you did. Okay. Based on the MSG mega rally, will Puerto Ricans vote for Madame VP? Yes, and eventually Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. will get statehood within the next 8 years. But are you kidding? The Puerto Ricans are already deciding F that guy.
I'm sure that the Puerto Ricans are like, what?
I
Um,
know.
well, after all, I'm sure what'll come up is when they hit that hurricane in Puerto Rico, and Trump supposedly went down there to help out, and he was tossing paper towels to
Not
people.
supposedly, it's on camera.
Well, no, he supposedly I said went to help out, which he didn't, but he did throw paper towel rolls to people under the
Yeah,
guise of him helping out, right?
yeah.
Um, Okay. Um, Carrie Burgess says, will MAGA Mike be reelected?
Who?
MAGA Mike Johnson, I think she's talking about.
Oh, he might be reelected, but he's not going to be speaker.
He's not going to be speaker, no way. All right. Your turn.
Will some states refuse to certify election results? I think two will.
They'll try some
And then I
shenanigans.
see the government saying you can't do that.
And even if it goes to the Supreme Court, they're going to say you cannot do that.
Can't do that.
Okay. I think we really need to get rid of this electoral system.
And we will, but it's at least 8 years away.
That's what I was going to ask. So that wasn't in the questions. It was just one that popped in my head. I'm glad I see it gone at some point too. All right. Um, Linda Linda Selby says, "Do you see Gloria Johnson winning over Marsha Blackburn in Tennessee for Senate?"
I know Marsha Blackburn's trying to cheat like hell. They
Right.
went in, somebody showed, they pressed Gloria Johnson's name and Marsha came up.
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
she's trying to cheat. I think it's very close. I'm feeling good for Gloria Johnson.
So am I actually.
So,
All right. It's your turn now.
um, what do cult? This is Tippin 10. What do cult members go through when they finally realize they were duped the whole time? They'll know when he loses, and either he's trying to leave or I don't know what's going on here, but I see all the stuff about him stealing military records, all that stuff coming out, and it's like he definitely shows what a lowlife he was, how he sold out Americans and created American men and women to die.
Well, I think it takes a while for people to be deprogrammed. Like when people are in cults, they just don't get programmed overnight. The way cults operate is the way Trump operates. They get people to suspend their critical thinking or
Yeah.
intellectual analysis and work on fear and phobia and emotion. And Trump does it through xenophobia. They're taking over your jobs. They're taking over our cities. They're eating your pets, whatever BS he comes up with. And it just plays on people's fear. And it takes a
And it's a
while.
lot of it's that white thing that,
Right.
the poor, the very poor, the disenfranchised that he would have nothing to do with,
Right.
except they come out in droves and he tries to treat them like, oh, you're special and he doesn't even let them use the bathroom when they go to Mar-a-Lago.
But the more frightening part of that are there's some very educated people that are for Trump, but that's just because they want to keep their fortune.
Yeah,
They don't care about, you know,
like Bezos and all that. They're kissing his butt because they want something.
correct. Here's a good question here. This is a really good one. Bree Moore says, will Elon Musk lose all his current government contracts for working with
Absolutely.
Putin and Trump to derail the election?
Absolutely. He's going to be in huge trouble.
I see him investigated.
And
Uh,
I see that, and the president even said something about it. He said, you do realize he came here illegally. He said he was going to go to school. He signed up at Stanford, and then he dropped out.
wow.
Then him and his brother did underhanded illegal things to make money in the United States. So he's an illegal immigrant.
Well, at some point, I see him under investigation with special counsel.
Yeah.
I see him having charges filed against him.
I see
And
him going back to South Africa and his mother holding him and saying, leave him alone.
right. But I still see him indicted and found guilty, then maybe he'll flee back to South Africa.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is I said this earlier, and you said it too, that I see legislation coming so that people like Elon Musk cannot buy off elections, and they're going to put a lid on what an individual or a certain corporation can donate to a
And
political.
Trump still takes foreign donations, and that's illegal.
Right, exactly. But there's going to be strict consequences for that futuristically. That's
So,
what I.
somebody on some show, one of the social medias, Eric Trump was saying, my Mar-a-Lago is worth $3 billion. And this guy said, yeah, his bathroom is because it's got probably $3 billion worth of top secrets in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
And this pen is worth, $30 million because Queen Elizabeth used it to sign something or another. I don't.
Um, Welcome back, Mel.
Thank you. I think you're up now.
Somebody did a long question. I know this is long. I won't be able to watch on Monday, but we'll watch it in the evening. My question is for both Canada and the US. Will either government finally get rid of lifetime appointments? This is for all levels of judiciary and government related roles. In Canada, our emissary to the Queen is paid for life, even after they are let go or fired. It saddens me that the government squanders so much money paying people that have no business being paid. That kind of money could go towards childcare, homeless people, food banks, medical. Absolutely, yes. I get yes.
I was going to say the short version is yes to all the above.
It's a few years and they're really going to filter it through.
Okay, Lynn Morris says, when Kamala Harris and Tim Walz win, I've read that Kamala can certify the election. That's right, because she's the vice president. Do you believe that's when the orange mango will cry rigged election? Oh, he's going to cry rigged,
Gonna cry rig. No, he knows he's losing now, by the way. He's already announced it to his people.
Oh, really?
He
I
says
mean,
it looks like I'm gonna lose. So we need to definitely keep up with that. It's rigged.
I mean, is that a psychic thing or did he actually say
No,
that?
he actually said that.
Okay. Wow. Ooh, okay, you go. I like your top, by the way. It's really pretty.
Oh, this whole thing? Will Barron Trump be a threat to the USA in the future? This is
I'm
from,
sorry, say again.
will Barron Trump be a threat in the future?
I don't think
He's
so.
not smart enough.
I don't think he wants anything to do with politics after this debacle. I don't think his mother would want him to.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
But
see.
she was out there at that little event and just,
Well,
how she does that.
she didn't want to be there.
She got paid, the check cleared.
Of course, she got paid. Okay, Dawn Turner says, "Hello, Linda and Mel. Welcome back, Mel." No, okay, you just read that. I love it. Okay. Julianne Wells says, will the Republicans not be able to block the Democrats? Do what? I don't get this. Next year, will the Republicans not be able to block what the Democrats want to pass because they're too busy dealing with legal problems that they will not have time to block it?
What?
I don't
There's going to
understand.
be more Dems than there are. The Dems will make it go through.
Correct. That's
So
my answer.
Sunflower said the district attorney Gasson recommended resentencing in the 35-year-old Menendez case. Is there a possibility of them being released early?
Linda's brothers. At some point, I do see them released.
Yeah, I think
Um,
they'll have done 40 years at least.
right. I don't know if it's a retrial or their sentence commuted, but I see them out of jail. It's not going to be as quickly as we think, but I
No,
do.
it's about 5 years away. Yeah,
Okay. I saw four, so there we go.
yeah.
Um, okay. Somebody wants us to do some stuff on the little boy that's been missing 10 years, but um,
I got to have a picture of them.
I don't go into missing persons unless the family calls me in or the police department calls me in. I
Right.
just don't like to, there's somebody has to call me in on it. Okay,
It looks like I've ran into you. You must be reading from my questions.
I am.
So I've already ran into you.
Okay. So will you just want to do every other one? What
I've
I did
already
is,
read all my top parts.
okay, so what I did is I just reposted your post on mine and then people ask additional questions. So I
Oh,
just always hit newest first. So, um, and then I start from the ones at the bottom of the list because they're the ones that ask first.
okay. So, but I have no more questions to ask. You've
Um,
already asked the bottom part.
okay, I've
We
got
got
some.
to end anyway in a few minutes.
Um, okay, let's see. This is Chris Piazza. How do you both? Could you please read on the fallout from Washington Post's decision to not endorse Kamala? Their editor resigned. Woodford, Democracy Dies in Darkness, and Bernstein made a statement condemning this along with many other journalists. Was this the final straw that wakes people up about the billionaire corporate takeover of our country?
Absolutely. And that guy, Bezos, and a lot of people stopped their subscription. And this is what someone said, and I believe it. Ending your subscription doesn't hurt them as much. Okay, so it doesn't, it hurts, but it doesn't hurt them. Stopping Amazon would hurt him, but what'll really hurt him is making sure Kamala gets in there. And then when she gets in there, her putting her nose up to him and saying, I'm not going to listen to any of your stuff
I think
because
it's
she'll know he's two-faced and he's a liar. Same thing with that guy that thinks he wants some sort of health post with Trump. He's hoping to be on Trump's good side. Is it the LA Times or the New York Times? He's it looks like he's Japanese or something.
I'm just going to answer it this way about the Washington Post not to endorse Kamala. Um, I'll answer it rhetorically. Uh, the the head of that newspaper, I'm just wondering who greased his palm for him not to endorse Kamala.
He's got more money than God. Trump doesn't have enough money to grease his palm.
Somebody had to grease something.
No, he wants that. He wants to be able to get the government in on some space program he's working on.
That's my
He did
point.
it so the government, yeah.
That's
But
my point.
it's he's not going to get it. I
There
just
had to
it's
be
clear as day he's not going to
there
get it.
had to be something in it for him. That's my whole point.
Yeah. Same thing with the other guy. He wants a chair and whatever, and he's not going to get it.
Right. Um,
Well, are you
okay.
are you done, my friend?
I've got more, but if you
I'm kind of wiped out.
okay. We'll just do it next week. on my show. We're doing a show tonight with
We're
the
going to be on with, I was thinking I might not make it, but even if she goes into labor, I wouldn't be able to get out of town till tomorrow. So,
and if you flew out of town today, where does Keeley live?
Portland.
It would cost you like well, to get a
No,
last minute flight would cost you
I
up
have
to
enough mileage to go free.
there you go.
All
Um,
right.
all right, sweetie.
I'm
Next,
glad you're back.
thank you. I'm glad I'm back.
So you got a lot of questions. You probably should do your own show in a minute.
I just have to go pick up a commission check, so
Ooh,
maybe I'll pre-record one for later.
there you go.
There
Take
you
care.
go. All right, love you.